Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this week's weekly theme. I just like to come live and give you guys a little tip that will just help you on your life journey. I like to think of myself as I teach you everything your mother didn't teach you, and that is how to enjoy life. Okay, guys, so for this week, I need you to fall in love with life again. Too many people are getting caught up and wound up in problems. Oh, I can't enjoy the holidays, my family, blah, 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 blah. If you are so focused on enjoy and having fun, you're going to have a good time no matter what. And I'm not talking about if someone's like dangerous or like physically threatening your life, right? No, that's not going to be fun. Just get out of there. No matter what, though, if you were focused on enjoyment, enjoying the holidays, you would get yoinked over to like an invite from a friend. You would get yoinked over to an event where it was going to be fun. So I hope you hear from all of this that you're more empowered than you think you are to change your reality. Because there's what is, which is right in front of you. What bills are stacking up. I'm recognizing how alone I am now that I'm like older. All the good guys are taken. You're just focused on like what is, and it tends to be kind of like maybe worst case scenario. Your power lies in switching over to what would you like it to be like, right? If you are going through, if you're a woman aging and you're like feeling that maybe pretty privilege dropping away, or just like feeling more ignored because other women are getting more attention than you and you've never experienced that before in your life, you're going to think worst case scenario, all the good men are taken. Oh, I'm like too old now, I'm damaged goods, right? You're thinking about what is in worst case scenario instead of where your power is. Like, all right, so I want to be with someone where it feels safe to expand as a human being with them. I want to be with someone where it feels good to enjoy life with them. I want to be with someone where I truly enjoy his company and he truly enjoys my company. I want there to be companionship, the best companionship I've ever felt in my whole life before. Do you hear how all of that is focusing on what you would like to be experiencing instead? I'd like to be going on dates, and I'd like a man where I feel like he's attracted to me. It is important for me to feel attractive, right? You're going to focus on like what is. I'm not meeting new men like I used to. The amount's gone down. I can't meet a guy. Or you can focus on like I want to be going on dates again. That's where the power lies with what you do want. Business growth, business stalled out, you're thinking how slow it is, how much work it's going to be to restart it. What is worst case scenario? Are you going to go, I'm reactivating a high sales period in my business. I am activating a high sales period coming up. I'm activating loving my business again. So all of this, though, all those examples I gave you, it's really about falling back in love with life again. You need to enjoy the journey and the process of meeting your potential life partner, right? You're not just looking for a provider. You're looking for a life partner. That's some of the missing piece for the growth. There's men and women right now. I'm just using the example of a woman. You have to learn a new way to be in relationships, right? Because if the way you've been approaching relationships up until this point was working for you, then great, keep going. But if what you've been doing in relationships has met you to people who like they weren't your best friend, they weren't a good life partner, they were someone that maybe appreciated the perks of them, the lifestyle they could provide, but you're like, oh, I don't know, the chemistry just wasn't 100% right. Like how you've been viewing relationships up until this point like needs to change, right? Maybe you need to be kinder. Maybe you need to discover a new way to communicate your needs. Maybe you need to learn how to not play games. So there needs to be like recognize that like I'm open to a new approach. Universe, God, whatever word you prefer, universe, deliver to me a way that I can view this situation that's uplifting, in a way where I see how it benefits me, in a way where I see how to make it win-win-win for everyone involved. Universe, help me see how I can enjoy meeting my partner. Help me become aware of things that actually matter in relationships, right? Because you have to admit how you've been approaching relationships up until now has not been working. How you've been approaching running your business up until now has not been working. It may have gotten you to where you are today, but oftentimes, like, what can happen is when you hit a first kind of ring of success, it's a lot of hustle and grit and hard work. To go from here to your next level, though, you have to embrace a more organized way of doing things, and like more easeful, more flow, more systematized. And a lot of times, a lot of the business owners I'm working with right now, there's a fear of systematizing their business. There's a fear of automating it. There's a, oh, but if I hook up that email sequence, then I have to maintain it. Okay, but like right now, you're hand drafting them. So no matter what, you have to do work. The difference is, are you spending the work on the content creation? Are you spending the work on the systems that keep the one content pumping and going and getting new people in? So you're just reshuffling how you spend your time for a lot of these. For the people trying to get a relationship, you're now shifting your focus away from just like attraction and just like making sure you're high vibe, but maybe not present. Now you've got to just be a little more present in your relationships. Now you've got to make sure you're a good friend. Hey, what's coming up? Okay, you bought art. Like, hey, did you get your art hung? You know, not go home and go, oh, so nice, he's taking care of his stuff after you just got like spoiled with like lunch and maybe presents. Like, do you actually care? Do you actually want to be his companion? Do you want to say, hey, did you get your art hung? Like, yeah, why don't I come over and help you hang your art? It's not taking it to an extreme. If he were truly a provider man, then he just loves spoiling and taking care of me. And he can handle his own stuff. Right? Like, guys, I hope me just saying that helps you kind of recognize that like how ridiculous that sounds. Are there relationships like that where both people are happy? Yes, absolutely. But if you're this far into the video, you just gotta like wake up and realize that you want to experience a different type of relationship. And it's one that has more companionship, one that's more, hey babe, like, no, let's not go out tonight. That's so sweet. You want to take me out? And trust me, I want to go out on a date with you and I want to be spoiled. But like, no, let's get your art set up at home. Like, let's make sure you got a good home environment, right? Are you showing care for their well-being? Or are you showing appreciation and delight in being like spoiled, pampered? You can see that difference there. So you just have to learn. This is why it's like about falling in love with life again and falling in love with the process of growth. You have to love this growth that you're going to go through as a person, because when you love it, it's high vibe. It comes in quicker. No matter what, guys, whether you believe in the law of attraction or not, or if you're like spiritual woo-woo, placebo effect. When you have thoughts that help, there are studies that show there's a percentage there's a percentage uptick of success. Are you willing to take time to examine your thoughts and make sure that they're focused on thoughts that help? Or are you not? You have to do that work first before you take action. If you just stay in action mode, that's when it's grinding, we're putting in so much work and effort, nothing's getting better. It's like, yeah, but if you just take the 15 minutes every day to like write down 5 to 10 thoughts of what you think about relationships, of what you think about your business, whichever area of your life you want to go better, just write your 10 dominant thoughts. And then can you change them to a slightly better one? That's it. A couple days will gain momentum. In a week or two, it'll be momentum. You'll be like, wow, my business changed overnight. So it's like energy and emotional well-being first, and then action, and then run your ads, right? Because if you're in fear of success, you run your ads. Guess what? Those ads are going to tank. Those ads are going to, no matter, even if you hired the best coach ever, like, you know, Grant Cardone, Dean Graziosi, like all those like big name marketing people who are like, oh yeah, when we run a funnel, we make you 100 million or whatever. Like, if you're in fear of success, no matter what they do, it's going to tank. It's got to be, hey, right now I'm wound up about this topic and I'd like to be unwound, right? That's the list. Where are you currently at? I'm very wound up on this topic. It's overwhelming. It's consuming me. What's the slightly better thought? I'd like to feel less wound. I'd like to feel like a little less wound. I'd like to feel a little bit more like I can kind of be calm during this process. I'd like to feel like it can be a smooth launch. I'd like a smooth launch. I'd like things to just feel softer in my body as I go through this journey. Right, so that's what I mean by what are your thoughts for it? And it's not about going from I don't think the ad's going to work to I make 100 million. That's too big of a leap. It's got to be what I just explained. I'm in fear around this ads. I'm afraid of success, and that's okay. I'd like to be more compassionate towards myself. I'd like to think nicer thoughts towards myself as I go through this journey. I'd like my own inner guidance, my own intuition, my own gut to guide my thoughts to more helpful thoughts. It'd be nicer just to have more helpful thoughts around this topic. Like that's the leap you want to go towards, because helpful thoughts will lead to the big money months. So you got to be willing to kind of take it step by step and not jump too far. All right, guys. So to round up this week's weekly theme, it's you really need to fall back in love with life again, and you fall back in love with life again by falling in love with the transformation, by falling in love with personal growth, by falling in love with expansion, by falling in love with a new way to enjoy life. And it's just that shift. It's just softly allowing yourself to experience life differently. All right, I hope that helped. Drop some questions, drop some comments. Let me know what you guys need help with. And then as always, I'll see you in the next video.